Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your first quarter reading. As always, I forgot what I was doing, but welcome to your January through March 2022 reading. We're just going to jump right in here, Pisces, and we're going to see let me just move that as well. We're just going to see whatever wants to come up for you at this time. This whole entire deck is upside down. So just if you're wondering, I just realized that this whole thing is just in reverse. So if you're wondering what's going on and why I'm flipping the cards over, it's because the entire deck is upside down. There you go, as you can see. The next two cards are upside down because I didn't flip them over. But Pisces, damn, is all I have to say here about the first quarter of this year. It makes perfect sense because the first quarter of this year should remind you of like May and June of 2021, when Jupiter was kind of like at its peak in Pisces and in probably like the best place in Pisces that it possibly could be. So, this last year you kind of had like a preview of Jupiter in Pisces. And as I've been talking about for months, now you're going to experience like the full blast of Jupiter in Pisces. Not only that, basically what's going to happen is at the end of the year, Jupiter, as in May, it moves into Aries, and then at the end of the year, it retrogrades back into Pisces. And so you're going to get like another hit of Jupiter in Pisces. Really good year for you. And, the good times will keep rolling after that as well, because, then Jupiter will enter into your second house, not only this year, but next year as well. And, just like a really good time. And I'm saying this because I see this here. You have this transformation card. It says transformation is beautiful. And, now that I think about it, I really can't remember a time where you've had this card like ever. And what I would say is that I feel like this could be a transformation that you're going through. It's kind of funny because like all the signs get these readings that really speak of a transformation. And sorry, I can just tell that my mic is not in a good spot, so I'm going to fix it. But what I would say here is like all the signs have been getting this transformation energy, but except for you. It really hasn't been a transformation. It's not like this deep transformation that you're going through. I think you're just like, it's more of a growth. To me, a transformation like this card is turning into caterpillar soup and then becoming the butterfly. I think for you, it's been more of this like gradual journey where you can kind of look back and you can see like all these places in your life that have led to the transformation, if that makes sense. It's not like one big, caterpillar soup situation. But there's something changing here for you, and I'm noticing the crown symbolism as well. You have a crown on top of that butterfly, and then you have crowns throughout this entire thing. Crown on the Ace of Swords, crown on the Chariot, crown. And do you have any others? That's it so far, but we're going to clarify this, and we're going to see. You have the Ace of Swords, Chariot, and the Queen of Cups. Clearly, some sort of victory coming in for you here, Pisces. It's probably going to come on the back of some sort of sacrifice. The Ace of Swords has a palm frond on this side and a olive branch on this side. The palm frond in the tarot can represent a sacrifice. It's not the only thing that the palm fronds represent in tarot, but it's, kind of the thing that is jumping out for me, for you here, Pisces, in this reading is like some sort of sacrifice again, it's not like some sort of scary sacrifice or something. You're probably just releasing things that you've always wanted to release and you're moving forward. And I also say that because of the Chariot here. I'm getting the words "eat my dust" popping into my head. I don't know, Pisces. Like I've said before, it's not just Jupiter. There are many other things that I think are allowing you to create a lot of momentum. So I think people are probably going to have a hard time keeping up with you. This is good for those of you that are in business or in work and all this other stuff. Having said that, again, like I said, we're entering into a very co-creative time. I have no problem with people being competitive and trying to get to the top, obviously. But what I would say is I would say try to bring some people with you, especially people who, I think it's more important to bring people with you who want it, right? It's like we can't force anyone to, rise to the top in business with us or anywhere else. But if there are people who want help, then I would be your Pisces self and allow them to kind of like come along. But in a lot of ways, I feel like you're kind of moving away from things that just no longer serve you. I get more of this like, Eight of Cups energy really from the Chariot. The reason I say this as well is because you have the Six of Swords right down here. It's like this combination to me, the Chariot and the Six of Swords, it kind of reminds me of that Eight of Cups energy, but in a more kind of positive light. You also have the Queen of Cups here. I feel like this is just you showing up in the reading. You do also have the King of Cups as well. Again, wouldn't really call this a love reading, but there is love here, as always. Like I always say, it's like, there's always love in the readings. You could make it a love reading, but I wouldn't really call this love energy necessarily. But you do have the King and Queen of Cups here. So for some of you, you could be either attracting or dealing with like a divine counterpart. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to. What I would say is if you are I can tell immediately without even reading this card, it says look at the underbelly. I can tell already that this is talking about kind of cleaning up some vibrational, fluff for love. So if you're looking for love, this says, be sure that you are using your time in the best manner possible. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you are working on could use some fine tuning. I also feel that in love. It's like for those of you that are looking for love, I feel like it's available to you. Could be a fellow water sign or a fire sign is showing up here. Could be any sign. This is a general reading, Pisces, but take it how it resonates. But what I would say here is that I feel like this is saying that there are some things that could be cleaned up in the vibration that would make this better or would lead to a more positive outcome. For others, again, I feel like this is saying, just looking around here, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles really says work on what's important. We'll talk about that more in a minute, but I feel like this card is saying the same thing. It's saying, it's talking about fine tuning. I feel like it's saying work on what's important in like work, business, and other things. You have the King of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Swords in this row. I think the Six of Swords is the most important card here. These people are moving away from baggage. They are leaving everything behind from the past. That's the baggage that they're leaving behind, is their entire life. This woman and her child are moving forward to calmer shores. But again, the sacrifice that they're making is that they're completely starting fresh. I don't really get that for you. Having said that, I don't think you're completely starting fresh, but maybe in your entire life. But what I would say is it does look like you're making a sacrifice, maybe in like a tiny part of your life or a certain part of your life, like love or business, to have something better in the future. That's why they're making the sacrifice. It's like they know that, they're leaving a lot behind and maybe they're having to do a bunch of work again to rebuild on the other side, but they also know that the results in the future are going to be worth it. So that's the type of sacrifice that they're willing to make. I feel like this could be quite a spontaneous decision. I really see you making kind of a split-second decision with this Knight of Wands. Here's the thing. I feel that this is coming from a very intuitive place, Pisces. Queen of Cups to the Knight of Wands to the Magician. The Magician is pointing to a card over here. Well, actually, at the end, we'll pull one of those cards and figure out what the Magician is talking about. But I feel like you're making a very intuitive, spontaneous decision, but it's coming from a very intuitive place. I feel, I think every Pisces is different. But if you get that intuitive hit, maybe you get that rush of emotions, or maybe your eyes water, maybe you get a chill, whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter. I feel that if you're making like very quick, spontaneous decisions in January, February, or March, that this is saying that those decisions are going to be extreme, or that decision, it could just be one decision that you make very spontaneously, is going to be very successful. I feel like it's going to be very good for you here, Pisces, with this energy. So definitely going to be a good thing. Next in your last row, and by the way, the King of Cups I feel is talking about your emotions, especially coming up here with the Magician. To me, the Magician and the King of Cups are say that you will attract things by feeling something. So make sure you're feeling things on a deep level. You have this My Dear Friend card, pun. There's literally a deer. I'm such a sucker for the dad jokes, Pisces, but it says my dear friend, and there's a deer on the card. So I feel for a lot of you, friends, family, people who are important to you are going to be very important at this time. We've talked about this again. I mean, like I said, I think your relationships in general are highlighted this year and next year and the year after that, because then Jupiter, the year after that, 2024, Jupiter will enter into your third house, and I think your kind of like your closer relationships are going to become very, very important for you at that time. Really, I mean, for like the next 10 years, relationships. I think relationships are always important, but I'm just saying, like over the next 10 years, relationships are like super, super highlighted for you, Pisces. So building like close relationships, business relationships, networking, all that stuff, it's gonna bring you love, make you money, increase your spirituality, improve your health. Literally, all your benefits will come from those areas of life. You have the Magician, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. I really do feel with this Seven of Pentacles that you're like analyzing things. This is a card of deep analysis. He's looking at the Seven Pentacles that he has grown, and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Was it worth it for me to do all this work? But I think with this card, you're looking at everything in your life, and you're saying, like, where do I get the most benefits out of the work that I do at work? Where do I get the most benefits in love? Where do I get the most benefits in, with my kids, or whatever it is that you're doing? And you're really looking at these things. The good news is that you have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is kind of like a gift from the universe. So I feel for a lot of you that there is the gift that you're receiving is flow. You have 2 sixes here. I love 2 sixes. To me, 2 sixes says you're moving in the right direction. And to me, it says you're kind of like going, you're kind of going the right way in life. So you have the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. This is like a path opening up to you. So I feel like there is a major new beginning with the Magician that you have attracted into your life. I would get very clear what this new beginning is. If I was to be super picky about this reading, I would say that this is the most important card here. For you is the Magician. It's because you have like this big, huge new beginning where you can decide to live whatever life you want to live, Pisces. I feel like he's pointing at this one right here. This card says childlike devotion. You are multi-talented. I say this all the time. Complex being. Embrace and love who you are. So there's no one like you, Pisces. I feel like I said this to you like a couple weeks ago as well, and that you need to realize that. But the problem with being unique, the problem with being a Pisces is it's like you have your own ideas about how to live your life. Everybody else has their ideas about how you should live your life, but you're going to have to like figure out where the middle is, right? And that's what I think this is saying, is it's kind of like saying you have to figure out how you can meet in the middle with yourself, and that's really where this is going. But there is no middle. It's like I think I said this to either you or someone else, but in one of the other readings, it's like the problem with being a Pisces is like you might want to be a doctor, lawyer, astronaut that also has a business cooking cupcakes and that are shaped like hamsters or something crazy like that. That's nothing. Like your ideas are probably crazier than that, right? And if there was anyone that could make that happen, it would be Pisces. So, I feel the Pisces, that there needs to be like more Pisces magic. I said this to you in like one of your recent weekly readings in January as well, where it's like I feel like you need to be more magical at this time, because again, it's probably that Jupiter and Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, you have both in your sign, pretty crazy energy, but again, just so crazy it could work, and so if you have any crazy ideas, I would be kind of like moving towards those ideas. I would be trying out some of your crazier plans, your crazier dreams and things like that. So, that's that. That's what I'll say there, Pisces. It looks pretty interesting. We're going to clarify this real quick, and we're going to see what is going on for you here, Pisces. I think I'm going to split these up like I do the weeklies because, I just want to keep these more focused. So I'm going to have a link down below to part 2. Make sure to check out part 2 down below.